Hi guys, I'm the Dimension Jumper, and you're probably wondering why I'm wearing the same clothes as yesterday. The reason for that is because the day I'm recording recording this is the same day as the review that I did for the first LEGO Marvel SuperHeroes game. So for this video, I'm releasing it tomorrow, which will be today. So yeah. So today's review, I'll be reviewing LEGO Marvel SuperHeroes 2, which was made by Warner Bros. Games and made for the Nintendo Switch, the Xbox, the PlayStation and various other consoles. So, the main story of the game is that it takes place right after the first game, but it opens up with the Guardians of the Galaxy traveling to Xandar to help out the Nova Corps to defend the planet against Kang. So, and now if you've read the comics, Kang is a time traveler who's from the future and likes to conquer other timelines and realities and that sort of thing. So the Guardians managed to defend Xandar, but Kang slips away. So then the Guardians go to Earth so that they can warn the people of Earth there. But they're only going to New York, if you can tell Nick Fury. But the weird point is that at the end of the original game, it took place like somewhere in it was like, I don't know when it was set in the first game, but in this game, for some reason, it takes place in the winter. By the end of the first game, there was like no snow at all, or it wasn't set in winter, so that kind of confuses me. So, but by the time the Guardians get to Earth, they're too late, and they see Kang's ship, which is basically a massive sword, hover over Manhattan, and some spikes are ejected into the ground, and the whole of Manhattan is taken to a place where other places have been held, and so some of the heroes that have been taken in their own Manhattan and been transported have to find out what's happening. So the heroes that you see in the game, as I said before, the Guardians, which make up of Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, Groot, and Rocket, and you've got on Earth you've got the Avengers, like the Wasp, Giant Man, Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and the Wasp, and a lot of other guys. You've also got the Inhumans, which are made up of, from what I can remember, Medusa, the teleporting dog. I forgot the name. I forgot the name of the name of. Oh, Lockjaw. Yeah, Lockjaw's the name of the dog. Yeah, Black Bolt, that fish guy. That kind of reminds me of the story from The Legend of Zelda. And I forgot what the last one was, but I'm sorry, but I just forgot the name. And yeah, and later on in the game, you find out that the other places that Kang has transported are different times, different places, and different realities. So there's, apart from Manhattan, you've got places like Wakanda, you've got Egypt, you've got medieval England, you've got New York in the year 2099, you've got a sort of gangster Manhattan. You've got a variety of realities and worlds that I feel is quite good. I think it's a thing the overworld is a lot bigger than the previous overworld in the last game, which was Manhattan or New York or whatever, which I found to be nice, but it's a bit small. I would have enjoyed it if in the last game they could have had added a bit more stuff to it, like in overworld wise, yeah. So like in the last game, you can travel from to different places to do certain challenges and stuff. So, for example, you can do certain races, but in this game, you might need a specific vehicle for the ground races. You might need a certain vehicle in order to play the races, and after you've done a certain you have to help certain people, you can then access a sort of mini boss type battle. So in Asgard, that's one of the places that's also been taken by Kang. You fight Hela. In Wakanda, you fight Killmonger. You can face against a variety of mini boss type guys, and you can and then once you've beaten them, you can collect the character token, which you can unlock on the character grid. Yeah, and for character wise, it's quite big. Like, apart from the Avengers, the Inhumans, and the Guardians, you've also got several characters that are from different realities. So you've got Spider-Man from 2099 and Spider-Noir. You've got Spider-Gwen, and you've also got Captain America, but it's Peggy Carter. You've got Iron Man, but as a Western person. Just like a lot of interesting characters that are probably borrowed from the comics, which are quite cool, because I really like this, and this is probably where this is probably where my love of Marvel comics and heroes and characters kind of grew a bit more, because I love how all these characters are just interacting with each other, just trying to help each other by banding together and stopping Kang. Now, halfway through the game, Thor destroys this tree thing that's protected by man thing that holds these shards, which get scattered around the world. So there's one in Hala, there's one in the place where the Inhumans live in. There's a lot of scattered around the world in this game, and you have to bring those shards together so you can bring in Nowhere. Now, Nowhere, I kind of expected to be like in the first Guardians movie. If you watch that first Guardians movie, you will know there's a part of the movie where where all the Guardians have to give the Power Stone to the Collector, so then they can get a lot of money and get rich and stuff like that. I kind of expected it to be Nowhere to be big and have be its own level, like the levels in the game, but no, it's just one room with a dog, a talking dog no less, just a talking dog in a space costume. So yeah, now it's time for some gameplay. So as you can see in the second game, the graphics are a bit more polished than the first game. And this is the character grid. There's a lot more characters, I think. I'm not technically sure. So you've got some of the same characters from the last game. So you've got characters like Captain America, you've got the Hulk. You've got the Hulk. You've got the Hulk version from Ragnarok. Iron Man. Spider-Man. And a bunch more characters. And you've got characters from the comics, like Spider-Ham, Captain Marvel, MODOK, Blade, Black Widow, and a bunch of other characters from the comics and movies. And I think that's quite cool, because you can now play as a bunch of other characters that you might have a favourite for. And yeah, and now we've got, instead of having characters like the X-Men from Fantastic Four, we've got Black Panther, the Inhumans, Miss Marvel, the Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Gwen, you can play as, and a bunch of other characters that I think are quite good to bring into the story this time, instead of having the same characters from the last game, because then you can now play as new characters you might have heard of or seen or read in a comic, and yeah. And now this time, instead of like waiting for a certain costume to pick, you can now just press the L or right trigger on your controller, on your controller to choose which costume to pick. And this time in Spider-Man and all the other Spider people, you can now climb up walls, which I think is quite good because it's pretty good here. And it was to go again your custom characters, which are kind of different from the ones in the first game, because for this one, for the custom characters in this game, you can basically make them gods. And what I mean by that is that you can give them basically every single ability that you can give them in the game, that's based in the game. So, for example, this one's called Ethan, and there's an anagram called engineered something human and nature. I forgot all the T words, but this is the abilities that he has. So you've got heat, repair, electricity, smashing through walls, hyper jump, mind control, portal creating, runes, and basically a lot more stuff. So that's basically, so that you can basically make custom characters gods in their own rights, and I think that's pretty much broken. And this time, instead of having the map in New York, you now have it in other locations that have appeared in Marvel Comics, so like Hala, Xandar, Asgard, New York, Sakaar, Wakanda, Manhattan, those sorts of locations. And I think that's quite good because I think it makes the map a bit more larger than in the last one, the last game. Because then you don't have to just have to stick in New York. And also, in later part of the game, you can bring in the Head of Nowhere, but if we can just get the map back up again. No, the map. Okay, there we go. Like, I find Nowhere to be a bit disappointing because in the first Guardians movie, you could see it was basically basically a place that was ginormous, and you could see like every it was basically a ginormous place. But now, if we can just get to Nowhere. Yeah. So yeah, this is basically nowhere. It's just one room instead of being a giant place filled with tons of people. And I found that really be disappointing for me personally, because I wanted to like go around nowhere, like, and I really like to have nowhere to be its own sort of mini level or level on the game, but like it's computers, and you can also do this combo thing, which is quite nice because you can have different characters basically using combos with each other, that sort of thing. So yeah, and you've still got the changing costumes from the previous game. So yeah, I think that's quite good. And instead of having Deadpool in the game as to be the person for extra missions, you've got Gwenpool, who I haven't unlocked yet, but this time you've got several of the same extras as from the last game. So you've got like the Stun multiplayer, the hat mode, which is basically the same as the Christmas hat mode, me kid detectors, character detectors, standing detectors, attract stars, that sort of thing. But now you've also got demolition mode, you've got helium mode, big head mode. For the big head mode, you basically get a big head like that. And yeah. And I like it how you can, like, for the different levels, all the different levels are just there, and then you can, like, choose it any time. See that, yeah. And each person has their own powers and abilities. So, like, for the spider people, I'll just quickly take off the big head mode. So for the spider people, you can shoot webs, you can swing about, you've got your spider sense, you can climb up walls, that sort of thing. You've got the flying characters, like Captain Marvel, that can fly about and shoot beams from their hands. And you've got characters like Ant-Man and Miss Marvel. If Miss Marvel ever,
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Like, see, no. That's where you can, like, yeah, you got characters like Miss Marvel and Ant-Man, the Wasp. They can change their size. Yeah. And okay, so once you've collected all the shards that you need and summon nowhere, you're then able to take down Kang. Now, the last level's quite good because you had to basically fight your way through various bad guys in order to get to Kang. And when you do fight Kang, Captain America is chosen to fight Kang in this like kind of like big robot sort of battle, which is quite nice because, well, it's kind of like good and bad because it's bad because like it's not that good because you yourself aren't like controlling the robot, you're just controlling Captain America, who's controlling the robot character hologram thing, which I would have liked if I could be the hologram itself instead of playing Captain America playing the hologram robot thing. But yeah, so at the end of the game, Romana, who's Kang's wife sort of thing, kind of turns Kang into a baby, and so that's and after the credits, Captain Marvel, Captain America and Iron Man all relaxed a bit until an old version of Kang and Romana, or a different version of Romana, come out of a portal telling those three Avengers that there's more danger about. or something. And yeah, that's the end of the game. And I would really like it if they made another game, like probably one final game, as a sort of outing for this game series, like just this, because, and for the next game I would really like it if they have not only had, they could have put all the teams that they had from the first game and this game together to defeat whatever is coming, if they do make another game of this. So yeah, that'd be cool. So I hope you enjoyed that review. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.